Breaking news from the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta universe has fans reeling. Rasheeda is reportedly breaking down after discovering that Kirk Frost has allegedly impregnated Jasmine Washington once again, sparking a whirlwind of drama, heartbreak, and explosive confrontations. Sources close to the couple reveal that tensions have been simmering for months. But this shocking revelation has pushed Rasheeda to her emotional limit. Friends say that Rasheeda was blindsided by the news, feeling hurt, betrayed, and completely overwhelmed as the story spread like wildfire across social media. The betrayal isn't just personal, it's public, with fans and followers dissecting every reaction, post, and statement from both Rasheeda and Kirk. Insider sources suggest that the confrontation was intense, with emotions running high and long-held grievances surfacing in an unforgettable showdown. Social media erupted instantly, with hashtags like hashtag RASHEEDAVs, Kirk, hashtag LHHATL drama, and hashtag pregnancy scandal trending worldwide as fans debated the consequences, speculated on the truth, and dissected the couple's complicated history. Industry insiders say that this isn't just another reality TV moment. It's a real-life emotional explosion that highlights the challenges of navigating trust, loyalty, and family dynamics under the relentless scrutiny of the public eye. As viewers, you're about to witness the heartbreaking, shocking, and dramatic events unfold, offering an unprecedented look into Rasheeda's reaction, Kirk's controversial decisions, and the ripple effects this revelation has had on everyone involved. Stay tuned, because the fallout from this scandal is just beginning, and it's guaranteed to leave fans shocked, emotional, and desperate for answers. The drama surrounding Rasheeda and Kirk Frost has reached an entirely new level, and fans of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta are left in shock. According to sources close to the couple, Rasheeda is reportedly breaking down after discovering that Kirk Frost has allegedly impregnated Jasmine Washington again, reigniting a cycle of betrayal, heartbreak, and emotional turmoil. Friends and insiders say that Rasheeda had been sensing tension for months, but this revelation blindsided her entirely, leaving her overwhelmed and devastated. The situation reportedly began when Rasheeda received indirect confirmation of Jasmine's pregnancy through social media posts, messages, and insider information. The news hit her like a lightning bolt, sparking feelings of hurt, anger, and disbelief. Friends close to her described her initial reaction as a mix of shock and sorrow, revealing a side of Rasheeda rarely seen by the public. She felt blindsided and betrayed. One insider said, "It's one thing to deal with rumors, but it's another to have confirmation that someone she trusted could hurt her again." Sources say that Rasheeda immediately confronted Kirk about the situation. The confrontation reportedly escalated quickly, with emotions flaring and long-standing grievances resurfacing. Friends claim that Rasheeda was not only angry about the alleged pregnancy, but also about Kirk's repeated behavior and the perceived lack of accountability. The exchange was reportedly intense, with Rasheeda demanding explanations and Kirk struggling to defend himself while under intense scrutiny from both Rasheeda and the surrounding family and friends. According to eyewitnesses, the confrontation was far from private. Close friends, family members, and even production staff were present, making the argument an emotional spectacle. While the cameras captured every moment, insiders revealed that the emotions were raw and unfiltered, with Rasheeda visibly shaken and Kirk visibly defensive. The atmosphere reportedly became tense, with every word exchanged carrying the weight of years of history, betrayal, and unresolved tension. Social media reacted almost immediately after clips of the confrontation were leaked. Fans took sides within minutes, some sympathizing with Rasheeda for enduring repeated heartbreak, while others criticized Kirk for allegedly continuing a cycle of betrayal. Hashtags like hashtag RASHEEDAVs Kirk, hashtag Jasmine pregnancy drama, and hashtag LHHA scandal began trending, reflecting the widespread attention the story received. Reaction videos, memes, and analyses flooded social media, amplifying the intensity of the situation and increasing pressure on both Rasheeda and Kirk. Insiders reveal that Rasheeda's emotional breakdown was compounded by a sense of public humiliation. Being a reality TV star means personal struggles are often displayed for millions to watch. And this situation magnified feelings of betrayal, pain, and exposure. Friends say that she struggled to reconcile her emotions with the public nature of the scandal, balancing the desire for privacy with the unavoidable scrutiny that comes with being in the spotlight. Kirk Frost's reaction, meanwhile, was reportedly a mix of defensiveness and frustration. Friends close to him say he felt caught between acknowledging the truth, addressing Rasheeda's anger, and managing the fallout from fans and media. Sources suggest that Kirk attempted to justify his actions, claiming that he was trying to navigate complicated personal relationships. But Rasheeda was unwilling to accept explanations that didn't acknowledge the pain caused by repeated patterns of betrayal. Family dynamics played a significant role in the unfolding drama. Rasheeda's support network reportedly tried to console her and provide guidance, while Kirk's family members encouraged him to manage the situation carefully to prevent further public backlash. Sources say that tensions ran high as both sides navigated emotional confrontations, and the added pressure of social media attention. The interplay between personal relationships and public scrutiny created a highly volatile environment, leaving both parties emotionally exhausted and deeply affected by the situation. The situation also highlighted the emotional toll of repeated betrayals in relationships. Friends close to Rasheeda noted that the cumulative effect of Kirk's actions had created a profound sense of distrust, emotional vulnerability, and fear of future heartbreak. It's not just about this one situation, an insider explained. It's the pattern of behavior, the repeated breaches of trust, and the public nature of everything that makes it so devastating for her. Sources indicate that production staff were monitoring the situation closely, aware that this confrontation could become one of the most talked about storylines of the season. While reality TV thrives on drama, insiders suggest that the emotions captured in this particular confrontation were genuine, intense, and raw, providing viewers with a rare glimpse into the real consequences of betrayal and emotional conflict. As the episode progressed, viewers witnessed Rasheeda's emotional breakdown firsthand. Friends say she expressed a mixture of sadness, anger, and frustration, revealing her vulnerability in a way that resonated deeply with fans. Kirk's attempts to explain, apologize, or justify his actions reportedly fell short in Rasheeda's eyes, leaving the confrontation unresolved and setting the stage for future tension. The public response amplified the intensity of the situation. Fans analyzed every interaction, speculated on the implications for Rasheeda and Kirk's marriage, and debated the authenticity of Jasmine's pregnancy claims. Social media became a battleground for opinions, with reactions ranging from support for Rasheeda to criticism of Kirk, further heightening the emotional stakes. Analysts suggested that this level of engagement reflects the broader cultural fascination with celebrity relationships, betrayal, and the emotional consequences of public scrutiny. Sources close to Rasheeda revealed that after the confrontation, she sought support from close friends and family, focusing on self-care and processing the emotional impact. Meanwhile, Kirk reportedly met with advisors and family members to assess the damage, consider next steps, and attempt to mitigate the public fallout. The emotional weight of the situation, combined with the pressure of social media attention, left both parties navigating a complex landscape of personal and public challenges. By the end of part 1, it was clear that the conflict was far from resolved. Rasheeda's emotional response, Kirk's defensive posture, and the involvement of Jasmine Washington created a multi-layered drama that captivated fans and left everyone anticipating what would happen next. The fallout from this revelation set the stage for further confrontations, personal reflections, and high-stakes drama in the upcoming episodes of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. The fallout from the shocking revelation that Kirk Frost allegedly impregnated Jasmine Washington again continued to reverberate across the Love and Hip Hop Atlanta universe. Sources close to Rasheeda report that the emotional toll was immediate and overwhelming. Friends say that Rasheeda spent hours processing the news, speaking with close confidants, and attempting to make sense of what felt like a recurring cycle of betrayal. The emotional strain reportedly left her feeling drained, hurt, and at a loss for how to proceed. According to insiders, the tension between Rasheeda and Kirk escalated in private following the initial confrontation. Rasheeda demanded honesty and accountability, while Kirk reportedly tried to navigate the situation carefully, explaining his side while simultaneously addressing the public scrutiny that had intensified since the news broke. Friends say that the conversations were intense and emotionally charged, with both parties expressing frustration, disappointment, and raw emotions. The discussions reportedly included debates about trust, loyalty, and the recurring challenges that had plagued their relationship for years. The involvement of Jasmine Washington added an additional layer of complexity. Sources suggest that Kirk maintained communication with her throughout the situation, which only fueled Rasheeda's anger and sense of betrayal. Insiders revealed that the repeated pattern of behavior was a key factor in Rasheeda's emotional breakdown, as it seemed to confirm fears she had harbored about Kirk's fidelity and commitment. Friends say that Rasheeda felt blindsided yet again, and the situation reignited feelings of hurt that had never fully healed from previous incidents. Social media played a critical role in intensifying the conflict. Clips and screenshots circulated widely, allowing fans to dissect every interaction, comment, and gesture. Hashtags such as hashtag RASHEEDAVs Kirk, hashtag Jasmine Drama, and hashtag LHHATL scandal dominated conversations, creating a digital storm of opinions, reactions, and debates. Analysts noted that the public scrutiny amplified the pressure on both Rasheeda and Kirk, forcing them to address issues in a highly visible and emotional environment. Fans speculated on potential reconciliation, the future of their marriage, and how this revelation could impact the broader dynamics of the cast and storylines. Sources close to Rasheeda report that she took steps to protect her mental and emotional health during this tumultuous period. Friends say that she leaned heavily on her support network, spent time reflecting on her boundaries, and sought advice on how to navigate the personal and public aspects of the scandal. Insiders noted that Rasheeda's resilience was evident, as she worked to maintain her dignity and composure despite the betrayal and emotional exhaustion she experienced. Kirk Frost's response, meanwhile, was reportedly a mix of defensiveness and reflection. Friends suggest that he attempted to manage the public fallout by engaging with both family members and advisors, seeking guidance on how to handle the scrutiny while addressing the emotional impact on Rasheeda. Sources say that Kirk recognized the gravity of the situation, especially given the recurring nature of the allegations and the strong emotional reactions involved. While he reportedly tried to justify his actions, friends say that the complexity of the situation made it difficult to resolve quickly or without further conflict. Family dynamics further complicated the situation. Friends note that Rasheeda's family and close confidants were deeply involved, offering emotional support while also expressing concern about the repeated incidents. Kirk's family, on the other hand, reportedly attempted to mediate, encourage calm, and help navigate the public implications of the unfolding drama. The combination of personal grievances, public attention, and family involvement created a pressure cooker scenario that made resolution difficult and heightened the emotional intensity. The psychological toll on Rasheeda cannot be overstated. Friends say that she experienced a whirlwind of emotions from shock and anger to sadness and disbelief. Insiders note that repeated patterns of betrayal can erode trust, leaving emotional scars that require time, reflection, and supportive networks to heal. Rasheeda reportedly expressed a need for clarity, honesty, and reassurance from Kirk in order to process the situation and determine whether their marriage could survive this latest scandal. Production staff for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta were reportedly closely monitoring the situation. Sources suggest that producers were aware that this storyline would become one of the most talked about arcs of the season. highlighting both the real emotional stakes and the public fascination with celebrity relationships. Insiders explained that while reality TV often relies on drama, the intensity and authenticity of Rasheeda's emotional breakdown provided a rare glimpse into the raw consequences of betrayal and emotional conflict. Social media's role in amplifying the story cannot be understated. Fans shared opinions, memes, reaction videos, and analysis, creating a feedback loop that intensified the pressure on both Rasheeda and Kirk. Insider sources indicate that the public's response affected the couple's ability to navigate the situation privately, forcing them to address emotions and concerns in a heightened and highly visible environment. Every interaction, post, or statement carried significant weight, and both parties reportedly felt the weight of public scrutiny acutely. The ongoing drama also highlighted the challenges of maintaining trust and communication in high-profile relationships. Sources close to Rasheeda say that the repeated betrayals made it difficult for her to believe Kirk's explanations or promises, creating an emotional barrier that complicated efforts at reconciliation. Friends noted that while Rasheeda wanted clarity and accountability, the pattern of recurring behavior made it difficult to rebuild confidence in the relationship. Meanwhile, Kirk reportedly faced the challenge of proving his commitment while managing public perception and addressing the emotional fallout by the end of Part 2. The situation had reached a critical juncture. Rasheeda's emotional breakdown, Kirk's defensive posture, and the involvement of Jasmine Washington created a perfect storm of tension, emotion, and public interest. Sources indicate that the couple's next moves would determine whether their relationship could withstand the latest scandal or if this incident would mark a turning point toward separation. The high-stakes drama left fans on edge, eagerly anticipating the next episode's revelations and confrontations. The emotional storm surrounding Rasheeda and Kirk Frost continued to escalate as the fallout from Jasmine Washington's alleged pregnancy became impossible to ignore. Sources close to the couple report that Rasheeda's heartbreak deepened, with friends describing her as devastated, frustrated, and emotionally exhausted. The repeated pattern of betrayal had pushed her to her limits, leaving both her and those around her bracing for the next explosive confrontation. While the cameras captured every tear, heated exchange, and emotional reaction, insiders say that what viewers saw was only a fraction of the intense emotions playing out behind the scenes, according to witnesses. The confrontation between Rasheeda and Kirk was unavoidable. Rasheeda demanded answers, expressing her anger, disappointment, and disbelief over what she perceived as repeated betrayals. Kirk reportedly tried to defend himself, offering explanations and attempting to navigate the emotionally charged atmosphere. But Rasheeda's emotions were too raw for rational discussion. Friends close to her say that she was not only angry about the alleged pregnancy, but also hurt by Kirk's apparent lack of accountability and the recurring nature of his actions. The clash became a dramatic showdown of emotion, history, and raw honesty, leaving everyone involved visibly affected. Family members reportedly attempted to mediate, but the intensity of Rasheeda's reaction and the public scrutiny made resolution difficult. Sources note that her support system provided comfort, encouragement, and advice, emphasizing the need to maintain dignity and self-respect while navigating such a volatile situation. Kirk, on the other hand, faced pressure from his own circle to manage both the emotional fallout and public perception, highlighting the challenges of maintaining composure when personal struggles are exposed to millions. Social media remained ablaze in response to the latest developments. Clips, memes, and reactions spread rapidly, with hashtags such as hashtag RASHEEDA breaks down, hashtag Kirk Frost drama, and hashtag LHHATL scandal trending worldwide. Fans dissected every exchange, analyzed body language, and debated who was in the wrong, further amplifying the emotional stakes. Analysts point out that this level of attention is both a reflection of public fascination with celebrity drama and a magnifier of emotional intensity. forcing both Rasheeda and Kirk to navigate not only their personal conflict, but also the relentless scrutiny of viewers. Sources close to Rasheeda reveal that she took proactive steps to protect her emotional and mental well-being. Friends say she leaned heavily on her close support network, set boundaries, and focused on self-care, attempting to regain control in a situation that had spiraled into chaos. This period of reflection allowed her to consider the impact of Kirk's actions on her marriage, her family, and herself, emphasizing the importance of self-respect, honesty, and accountability in relationships. Meanwhile, Kirk Frost reportedly began reflecting on the consequences of his actions. Sources suggest that he faced a difficult choice: either take responsibility for the emotional pain he caused or continue to justify his behavior, risking further public backlash and damage to his relationship. Friends note that he sought counsel from trusted advisors. Considering the impact on both Rasheeda and the broader LHHATL audience, the pressure to navigate personal accountability in the public eye created a heightened emotional environment that intensified the stakes for both parties. The involvement of Jasmine Washington added another layer of complexity. Sources indicate that Kirk's ongoing communication with her and the allegations surrounding her pregnancy fueled Rasheeda's sense of betrayal and distrust. Friends close to her report that the repeated incidents had eroded trust over time, making it increasingly difficult to navigate reconciliation or maintain emotional stability. Insiders suggest that Rasheeda's emotional response was not only a reaction to this specific event, but also a culmination of years of unresolved grievances and repeated heartbreak. Production staff for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta reportedly recognized the emotional gravity of the situation. Sources say that while reality TV thrives on drama, the intensity and authenticity of Rasheeda's breakdown presented a unique challenge. Crew members were cautious to provide space and support while capturing the story for the cameras, aware that this level of raw emotion could resonate deeply with viewers and create one of the most talked about storylines of the season. Friends close to the couple report that private conversations continued after the initial confrontations, with attempts at mediation, emotional venting, and reflective discussions. Sources suggest that Rasheeda insisted on clarity, transparency, and respect, while Kirk was encouraged to take accountability and communicate openly about his decisions. The emotional tension remained high, and insiders emphasized that resolution would require time, honesty, and consistent effort from both sides. The psychological toll of repeated betrayal cannot be overstated. Friends note that Rasheeda experienced a mixture of heartbreak, anger, and vulnerability, reflecting the emotional impact of navigating personal and public crises simultaneously. The public nature of the scandal compounded the emotional intensity, forcing both Rasheeda and Kirk to deal with scrutiny while processing their own feelings. Analysts highlight that this combination of personal trauma and public exposure creates a unique, emotional environment that is both captivating for viewers and deeply challenging for those involved. As the episode progressed, sources report that Rasheeda and Kirk's interactions remained highly charged, with moments of reflection interspersed with emotional confrontations. Friends note that while there were attempts at reconciliation, the trust that had been eroded over time required significant effort to rebuild. The narrative presented in the show provided viewers with a rare glimpse into the real-life consequences of repeated betrayals and the challenges of navigating intimate relationships under the pressure of reality television. By the end of Part 3, it was clear that the emotional stakes were higher than ever. Rasheeda's heartbreak, Kirk's defensive posture, and the complex dynamics involving Jasmine Washington created a multi-layered drama that captivated fans and left everyone questioning what the future held for the couple. Sources indicate that viewers could expect more intense confrontations, emotional reflections, and shocking revelations in upcoming episodes, leaving the LHHATL audience eagerly anticipating the next chapter in this turbulent saga. Fans, viewers, and supporters, this is a story you cannot afford to miss. The heart-wrenching drama between Rasheeda and Kirk frost over Jasmine. Washington's alleged pregnancy is more than reality TV. It's a raw, emotional journey through heartbreak, betrayal, and the complexities of trust in high-profile relationships. Every confrontation, tearful breakdown, an emotional moment carries weight and reveals the challenges of navigating love and loyalty under the watchful eyes of millions. To stay up to date on every shocking revelation, behind-the-scenes moment. An exclusive update from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta Season 13. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. We'll provide front-row access to the unfolding drama, detailed breakdowns of confrontations, and insider information you won't find anywhere else. From emotional arguments to tense mediations and raw personal reflections. We cover every moment in detail, giving you the full story. Engage with us, share your thoughts, and join the discussion as we analyze Rasheeda and Kirk's challenges, decisions, and the possible outcomes of this explosive situation. This story is far from over, and the next episodes promise even more shocking twists, emotional revelations, and jaw-dropping moments. Stay connected for the latest updates and witness firsthand how one of the most intense and heartbreaking storylines in LHHATL history continues to unfold. The drama is real, the stakes are high, and the emotions are every moment counts. And fans around the world are watching every explosive second.